Hello students, I am Kirti Bhosle, Assistant Professor in N. B. Navale Singhagad College of Engineering in Department of Civil Engineering, and I am dealing with the subject Analysis of Indeterminate Structures. Today's topic is Stiffness Matrix Method Part 3. In this video lecture, we will see the analysis of beams with degree of kinematic indeterminacy as 3. Okay, so these are now again standard slope deflection equation when other end is fixed or continuous, and this is another set modified slope deflection equation when other support is hinge, roller or simple support. Okay, now example 5. Yes, you can see in the question diagram, this is 3 span continuous beam, A fixed end, B and C intermediate support, and D is simple end support, and the external load is external moment of 100 kilonewton meter. Okay, so now step 1 is to find degree of kinematic indeterminacy. Yes, the equation is degrees of freedom into number of joints minus total unknown support reactions. Okay, so degrees of freedom for beam 3 into number of joints A, B, C, D 4, and total minus total unknown support reaction 6, 3, 1, 1 and 1. Okay, so total 6. Therefore dki is 12 minus 6, and yes, it is now 6. Total dki is 6, and it is nothing but the unknown displacements in the structure. Okay, so what are that unknown displacements? Theta b, theta c, theta d, delta bx, delta cx and delta dx. Okay, so neglecting the axial deformation because the amount will be very small, therefore neglecting axial deformation, we will remain with dki is equal to 3, which will be rotation at B, rotation at C and rotation at D. These will be the redundants. Okay, now step 2. Yes, to generate P matrix. Okay, so what is P? P is the force required to produce unit displacement in the structure. Now our unknowns are, in this example unknowns are theta B, theta C and theta D. Okay, so the force required to produce theta B is moment at B, moment at C and moment at D. So P1 will be total moment at B, then P2 will be total moment at C and P3 will be total moment at D. Okay, so we will go one by one. Total moment at B 0 because there is no loading on span AB. Okay, now P2 will be also equal to 0, which is moment at B, total moment at B, because there is no loading on span BC also, and P3 will be the value which is moment at C support. Yes, it is external moment over there of 100 magnitude. Therefore P1 0, P2 0 and P3 100. We have generated the P matrix in this way. Okay, then go to step 3. Step 3 is to generate stiffness matrix. Okay, in that part A, yes, it will be, yes, our first redundant is theta B. Therefore apply clockwise moment at B to produce theta B equal to 1, and of course other displacements, that is theta C and theta D, should be 0. Okay, because according to definition of stiffness, other displacement should be 0. Only one displacement at one time. Now in this part A, theta B is equal to 1. Therefore to produce theta B equal to 1, we have to apply moment at B, yes, clockwise of course, and due to this moment this moment will be carried over to another support C, which is now fixed support. Okay, now J is equal to 1. In this case J is equal to 1. Therefore this will be this moment at B will be S11 L and R. Okay, and this will be a moment at C will be S21. Okay, So we will get first value of S11, 4 EI by L plus 4 EI by L for both the spans equal to, then S21 will be half of S11R. Okay, so this is S21 and which is half of, which is carried over half of S11R. Okay, so this will be the value of S21. And what about S31? Because due to this moment, yes, due to this applied moment at B, there will be no moment at end C. Therefore at D. Therefore S31 is equal to 0. Okay. Now go to part B. Now what is our second unknown? Theta C. Okay. So apply clockwise moment at C to produce theta C equal to 1 and other other displacements, that is theta C and theta B and theta D should be 0. Okay. So therefore apply moment at C, and as this is part B, J is equal to 2. Okay. So therefore applying moment at C positive, therefore S22. Okay, and this will be L R, and here, yes, at B this moment will be again carried over half, and which will be, yes, S12. Okay, and at point C again this S22R will get transferred by or carried over 50%. Therefore this value or this ordinate will be S32. Okay, because B is position of first redundant, therefore I is equal to 1. C is position of second redundant, therefore I is equal to 2. And D is position of third redundant, therefore I is equal to 3. Okay, so S12, S22 and S32. So first you will get value of S22. S22 will be L plus R. Okay, S22 will be S22L plus S22R. Therefore 4EI by L plus 4EI by L. Then S12 will be half of, yes, half of S22L. Then S32 will be half of S22R. Okay, now go to part C. What is our third unknown? Theta D. Okay, so apply clockwise moment at D to produce theta D equal to 1, and of course other displacements, that is theta B and theta C equal to 0. Okay, so now to produce theta D equal to 1, yes, moment is remaining here, so you read this moment. Okay, and J is equal to 3. So this, and again it is point of third displacement, therefore this moment will be called as S33, and this moment will be carried over half to C support, therefore S23. Okay, so first you will get value of S33 4EI by L, and then S23 half of S33. Okay, and as there is this moment will not get transferred to end B, therefore S13 will be equal to 0. Okay, so in this way we have derived stiffness matrix, all the elements, all 9 elements of stiffness matrix you can see here. Okay, then now go to step 4 to use stiffness equation. Okay, so P plus S delta is equal to PD. Okay, so PD is 0, no sinking, no rotation of support. So write all the respective values, P matrix, S matrix, yes, here it is a theta matrix, unknown matrix, and 0. Okay, so by solving this on your calculator you can get value of theta B, theta C and theta D. Okay, now yes, next step is to find final moments with the help by using slope deflection equation. And you know slope deflection equation, these final moments will depend on the support conditions, whether to use normal slope deflection equation or modified slope deflection equation. Okay, so yes, you can get the support conditions in the original beam as A fixed support, B C intermediate support, and D and simple supports. Okay, so accordingly we have to use the slope deflection equations. Okay, so yes, AB, MA for MAB, A is fixed support and B continuous, therefore normal slope deflection equation. MFAB plus 2EI by L 2 theta A plus theta B. Theta A will be 0 as A is fixed support. Then on the similar lines, MBA you can calculate. Then MBC again. What is the case of MBC for support condition? B and C both are the intermediate supports. Therefore normal slope deflection equation we have to use and get value of MBC and MCB. Then next, yes, next here support condition is changing. For CD span, C is intermediate support and D is end simple support. Therefore we have to use modified slope deflection equation. So for MCD equal to MFCD minus MFDC by 2 plus 3EI by L into theta C. Okay, so accordingly you have to put all the values and find out MCD value. And then MDC, in slope deflection equation you can see MDC will be 0, but here external moment is applied over there at point D. Therefore MDC is equal to 100, which is magnitude of external or applied moment. Okay, so we have got all the final moments, and with the help of all these final moments, taking negative as anti-clockwise and positive as clockwise, you can find out all the support reactions using equilibrium equations. Okay, and you can subsequently plot the SFD and BMD. Okay, now go to the next problem, example number 6. Okay, now you can see here what are the support conditions and what is the loading. Okay, A fixed support, B and C intermediate support, and D and roller support. And the loading is eccentric point load UDL and again eccentric point load. Okay, so now step 1, DKI is degrees of freedom into number of joints minus support reactions. Okay, so degrees of freedom 3 for beam, okay, into number of joints ABCD 4 and minus unknown support reactions 3, 1, 1 and 1. Okay, so total 6. Okay, 6. Okay, so this will be 12 minus 6 is equal to 6. And yes, so what are these 6 unknown support reactions will be? Yes, theta B, theta C, theta D and horizontal displacement at B, C and D. There is delta X at B, C and D. But this horizontal displacement we are neglecting, axial deformation. Therefore only the 3 unknowns will be rotation at B, rotation at C and rotation at D. So total DKI is 3. Okay, now go to step 2. Now step 2 is to generate P matrix. What is P? P is the action required to produce unit displacement in the structure. Okay, so now what are our point of unknown displacements? B, C and D, and unknowns are rotations. Therefore the action required to produce rotation is moment. Okay, right? Therefore total moment at B will be P1, total moment at C will be P2 and total moment at D will be P3. Okay, so what is this total moment? Now we will go one by one. First we will calculate all fixed end moments. Okay, all fixed end moments for the given loading. Okay, so what it will be? Yes, MFAB will be MFAB. Yes, what is the loading on AB? Eccentric point load. Therefore this moment will be anti-clockwise, that is minus PAB square by L square. Okay, then MFBA clockwise plus again eccentric point load, therefore P A square B by L square plus. Okay, now yes, this is MFBC minus anticlockwise minus WL square by 12. Okay, and MFCB plus WL square by 12 due to UDL. Now yes, MFCD again anticlockwise, that is minus due to central point load minus PAB square by L square, and at D, yes, MFDC is equal to plus PA square B by L square. Okay, for this eccentric point load. Okay, so we have calculated all the fixed end moments, and now we have seen that we have already discussed that this algebraic sum of these two moments will be P1, algebraic sum of these moments at C will be P2, and the moment value at D will be value of P3. In this way we have generated P matrix. Okay, now step 3, to generate stiffness matrix. Okay, now in part A, what is first redundant? Theta B. Therefore apply clockwise moment at B to produce theta B equal to 1 and theta C theta D equal to 0. Okay, so here moment clockwise, of course. Okay, so this will be S11 L and R, and at point C S21. Okay, so first you will get value of S11 equal to S11 L plus S11 R, 4EI by L plus 4EI by L for span AB and for span BC. Okay, now you will get value of S21 equal to half of S11 R, and what will be S31 value? Yes, there is no moment transfer to the joint D, to the support D, therefore S31 is 0. Okay, so in this way we have determined first 3 elements of stiffness matrix. Then go to part B. Our second redundant is theta C. Therefore apply clockwise rotation at C to produce theta C equal to 1 and theta B theta D equal to 0. Yes, you can see here moment at C, clockwise moment at C, J is 2. Okay, so this will be S22 L and R, and at B S12, and at C S32. Okay, so these moments are the actions, that is stiffness. Okay, so first you will get value of S22L plus S22R, 4EI by L plus 4EI by L for span BC and for span CD. Okay, then you will get value of S12 is nothing but, yes, half of S22L, and then S32 will be equal to half of S22R. Okay, now go to part C. Yes, our third displacement is theta D. Therefore apply clockwise moment at D to produce theta D equal to 1, and other displacements, that is theta B and theta C, shall be 0. Okay, so this is moment applied at D, so this will be moment S33. Okay, and it will be carried over to joint C as S23, and there is no transfer of moment to end A, therefore S13 is 0. Okay, first you will get value of S33, 4EI by L, and now S23 is half of S33, and we have seen S13 is 0. So now we have determined all the 9 elements of stiffness matrix. Okay, dki is 3, therefore order of stiffness matrix is 3, that is 3 by 3 matrix. Okay, now go to step 4. Use stiffness equation P plus K delta equal to 0. Put the respective values and you will get value of theta B, theta C and theta D. Okay, now we have to next step is to find final moments. Okay, using slope deflection equation. Now support condition is important here. To use the slope deflection equation. A fixed support, B intermediate or continuous, C continuous, and D simple roller support and roller support. Okay, so while calculating MAB, yes, A fixed support and B intermediate continuous support, therefore normal slope deflection equation MFAB plus 2EI by L 2 theta A plus theta B. Yes, theta A will tend to 0 because A is fixed support. Okay, so accordingly you will get value of MAB and on the similar lines MBA. Okay, now for third value MBC, B is continuous support and C is also continuous support, therefore we have to use again the normal slope deflection equation and get these two values MBC and MCB, putting all the values. Okay, now third part is there MCD and MDC. Yes, you know C is continuous support and D is end roller support, therefore we have to use modified slope deflection equation, and therefore MCD is equal to MFCD minus MFDC by 2 plus 3EI by L into theta C. Putting respective value you will arrive at this value. Okay, and MDC is 0. Okay, so we have got all the final moments, and using these final moments on your free body diagram you will get all the support reactions using equilibrium equations. Okay, and you can subsequently draw the shear force diagram and bending moment diagram. Okay, so in this video lecture we have covered all means indeterminate beams with degree of kinematic indeterminacy 3. You can practice more examples with the help of this video lecture.